Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cardinal Sports Complex for CTN's coverage of the Section 7 AA Girls Soccer Championship. Tonight, the number 1 seeded Coon Rapids Cardinals host the number 2 seed Tornadoes from Anoka. Joe Young along with Howie Shapiro and Chad Keeney for tonight's game. And guys, we saw the boys team come out and take the lead, stay in the lead for the entire game. But they really put their foot down in the second half and got out of here and into the state tournament with a 5-1 win.
They looked like a state tournament team. They were very impressive how they attacked that net and how they kept the Anoka Tornadoes away from the dangerous opportunities that they might be able to generate.
Well, this is how the girls bracket has come about. The Cardinals, the top seed, beat Forest Lake relatively easy 4-0, beat Blaine 2-0. Blaine had beaten Andover 3-1. The Tornadoes, a 1-0 win in overtime over 6-seeded Cambridge Isani in the quarterfinals, and then traveled up to Duluth East, who had beaten St. Francis, and they knocked off the 2-seeded Greyhounds in double overtime, 2-1, to reach this championship contest. I take that back. The Tornadoes, number 3 seed. I did mention they were the number 2 seed, but they are the number 3. And the Cardinals, so far in this tournament, have only allowed 4 shots on goal.
That's pretty impressive. Great defensive play. They scored 4 goals in the first game, 2 on Saturday. We'll see what they can do here against Anoka. Played them once this year, beat them 2-1 earlier in the season.
Yep, second game of a doubleheader, and hopefully it's a similar turnout.
And a very happy night for Cardinals soccer fans. Of course, the girls team has made it to the state tournament a lot in the last 10 years. They went 3 straight years before missing for the past 2, and they want to get back there for the first time in 3 years. Here's a look at the starting lineups for the 3rd-seeded Tornadoes. Sonia Smith, the goalkeeper, Samantha Sodergren, Sarah Tokar, Alyssa Benson, and Maddie Myers, the defenders. Taylor Bear, Shauna Rodman, Bree Doral, and Rachel Roberts in the middle, Jen DeRue and Lauren Johns up front. For the Cardinals, it's Brasheko in the nets, Vandevorst, Erickson, Haida, and Murphy on the defense. Midfielders are Becca Erickson, Mallory Getchell, and Shelby Zimmel. Up front are the big 3, Shelby Funfar, Jackie Lodi, and Rachel Bana.
Coach DeJoy, obviously, he wants to get off to a good start as well. It's important for his team to get the momentum like the boys did and carried that momentum pretty much throughout that game.
Quick whistle going against the Cardinals here.
Second quick penalty against Coon Rapids, not even a minute into the game. This one misplayed out of bounds on the near side. Throw in for Coon Rapids.
We did talk about earlier about how the boys have kind of come together as far as familiarity with playing with each other, and Lodi, Bana, and Zimmel certainly can put that together up front here.
Yeah, and they're in the team. Their team is so young, this girls' soccer team.
I was going to say, they're both sophomores.
Yeah, I meant Zimmel. I actually misspoke and meant Funfar.
Well, they have two seniors in the starting lineup. The rest sophomores, a couple of juniors, and 1 freshman.
Yeah, Lodi and Erickson. And Lodi, as a varsity player since her freshman year, has played in a state tournament. The only one who's been around that long. Funfar gets it to Lodi. Lodi in a foot race. And they go down together, racing with her with Sarah Tokar. And it ends up out off of Anoka, so a corner kick for Coon Rapids. And set plays were big in the boys' championship. Coon Rapids scoring their first 3 goals off of set pieces.
That was head coach Paul Andrela, head coach for the Anoka girls soccer team.
Has been for 10 years.
Yep.
Vandervorst is shot from a ways out, and save made relatively easy by Smith. Cardinal defense. Cooley stops it up and clears it out of danger. Allow numbers to get back in place.
Head coach Jeff DeJoy imparted quite a bit of wisdom, soccer wisdom, to me the other day on the phone. I don't remember any of it, but he did give me a lot of soccer information.
I was going to say he is a wealth of soccer knowledge, and being that you don't have any to start with.
No, that is true.
You're a sponge.
I am. I'm learning as I go. I'm learning on the fly.
Well, I once stayed airborne for quite a while, but didn't really go much of anywhere. Back and forth across the same 5 yards of airspace. Vandevorst serving it ahead, just a little too tall for Funfar, but here's Bana. Bana let it get away from her a little bit too much, and there was Sodergren to stop her up.
Yeah, sometimes I think
Funfar, a shot, and a goal!
Wow, what a nice shot. I think she caught the keeper napping just a little bit, hit it to that far corner, and that was a great way for Coon Rapids girls to start this soccer contest.
Amazing shot. Simply amazing.
Was that
Off
Shelby Zimmel? Oh, it was Shelby Zimmel, not Shelby Funfar. All the way across, off the post and in, and I believe that's unassisted because I believe it came right back to her off of a clear attempt. And just like that, Coon Rapids in the lead less than 4 minutes into the game. Vandevorst stopping it up.
Well, so far this game has paralleled the boys' game relatively well.
Yep.
Early goals by the home team, and we'll see how it continues here. Call against Cardinals there. Anoka free kick.
I think the Anoka boys scored just a little bit over 3 minutes after that first goal for Coon Rapids. We'll see if the girls can try and repeat and do the same.
Playing it back to the near side. Rodman plays it back in. Tried to set up a little triangle. Broken up and sent away by Vandevorst. Long throw in to the corner. Cleared away out of danger. I believe that was Ali Haida. Good job challenging on the far side to keep that shot from coming in on goal. That was Murphy.
Leading to a tornado corner kick. As you can see, their players sitting outside the box. Try to put together an attack here to answer to the Cardinals' goal.
Brianna Doral, who will handle the corner kick. High out near the top of the 18-yard box. Header right in on Bersheko, but she makes the save.
As she came out, she hesitated a little bit and then came out for the ball and almost went off her hands, but fortunately she was able to
on her punt there, she did lose her footing, and we saw that a couple times in goal kicks in the first game as far as players losing their footing around that touchdown zone, if you will, toward end zone. Easy for me to say, talk about another sport other than soccer.
Touchdown zone. Maybe that's good. Played out of bounds right at midfield.
It'll be interesting to this is the football game here is tomorrow night, and we'll see what the field condition is like. But it rained yesterday, but pretty much dry for the most part of today. But as you mentioned, a little bit slippery at certain points of the field in the touchdown zone area.
Near the touchdown zone. I'm going to use that tomorrow night during the football game.
I'd appreciate that.
It's into the touchdown zone.
I want to see we'll know we're referring to you. As if you
It has just been a fantastic fall season for Coon Rapids athletics.
Yes, it has.
4 conference champions, 2 in soccer, 2 in cross country, 1 section champion so far. Nice job by Vandervorst to keep it on the sideline. Becca Erickson driving down the sideline. Clearing attempt stopped up by Bonna, now played back out near midfield. Zimmel crossing it into the middle for Bonna. Got away from her and booted back out by Maddie Myers. Erickson to the corner. Lodi. 1 touch. Rebound and a goal for Shelby Funfar.
A breakdown in defense for Anoka, and then Shelby Funfar doing a good job of following that rebound and putting the ball into the net and putting the Cardinal lead at 2-0. So, guys, they're coming out smoking here early on.
Just over 8 minutes in, the Cardinals go up by 2. Good save right there, but no chance for Smith to get back up for the rebound.
Another goal by another sophomore.
Well, that bodes well for this program. But you think about how many youngsters, young athletes.
The first one, Zimmel, is one of the sophomores is not one of the big 3.
Well put.
As long as that took to get out of my mouth.
We have nothing but time, Joe.
The point, of course, being that the Cardinals' big 3 includes 2 sophomores, and Shelby Zimmel not one of those. But she, too, can be dangerous and has played very well this season. Lodi sends Funfar in. She's in on about 1 on 4, but that won't. That doesn't mean that Maddie Myers isn't going to clear it away out of bounds.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier about it being a wonderful season for Coon Rapids sports with the 4 champions and 1 section champion so far. You can see that in the community that's come out to watch the games here tonight, despite there being both a volleyball game and an orchestra concert. So.
Well, and no offense, I have great respect for the step that the volleyball program has taken this year, but they're playing Blaine tonight, who is undefeated in conference play.
Yeah.
Ranked 9th in the state.
Yeah, they're pretty good. We will have highlights on Sports Night, but they're pretty good. I think this is a little
bigger draw.
I'm not sure if we'll have highlights of the orchestra concert on Sports Night, but definitely the volleyball match.
Well, that's why we call it Sports Night.
Well,
not Activities Night.
Sometimes it's Activities
If it was
night.
Activities Night, I'd be really busy, and we'd need more than a half hour, I think.
But you could do it. If anybody could do it, it's you, Joe, Ian.
Well,
See, Chad, I have to say that every once in a while in his contract.
That's right. You fulfilled your quota for
at least
this
today.
week.
Yeah. Well, no, I've got one more to do for tomorrow night. I'm saving it up. I like to spread it out over a period of time.
Look forward to tomorrow night. Cardinal football team hosting the Centennial Cougars. We'll have that action here live on CTN. Cardinals with a throw in here in very dangerous territory. We saw the boys team score on a couple of throw-ins on their way to a section championship. I think Anoka might have scored one of their goals, or their only goal came
set
up.
piece.
Yep.
I know it was a set piece, but was it a throw-in or no? It was off.
No, it was a corner
kick.
kick.
That's
Yeah.
right. Cardinals putting some pressure on. Ball ends up out the end line. Goal kick for the Tornadoes. When does state tournament start? They got a whole week off. I think it starts next Tuesday.
I believe maybe the 22nd through the 24th is the first round.
So,
and that'll be at, depends on where they get seeded, because in soccer they do reseed. It's not just a matter of putting one section up against another. And then depending where they get seeded, they'll find a game at a neutral site between the 22nd and 24th.
well, let's hope they get seated similarly and would play at the same facility, and we'd be able to do both again, but I doubt it.
That's going to be tough to happen, I would think.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, I believe Coon Rapids will be in the top 4 for boys, seeing how they ended the season ranked number 4 in state. Girls might be a little lower than that, although they were ranked, I believe, 10th as
10th or 8th? Maybe it was 10th.
As the regular season came to a close.
When you think about that, it's pretty impressive. Your boys' team ranked 4th, and even if it is 10th, your girls' team ranked 10th in the state in the same year.
Coon Rapids has put together a very solid girls program for a great number of years, and now the work of Coach Jacob paying off. So it's nothing but good for the Coon Rapids community.
That's definitely a good thing.
And we talked about the cross-country teams too, both conference champions. But we could potentially see 2 soccer section champions, 2 cross-country section champions, perhaps a football section champion.
That would be incredible.
Bonna forcing her way in, but they got away from her and scooped up by Smith. Well, and, we talked about it a little bit during the boys' game about the soccer section tournament includes some teams that, they aren't very good. It's not a stacked section as it is in some other sports.
Correct.
Like wrestling, where you basically have to win a state tournament just to get to the state tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked at the boys' football teams involved in this section tournament. It's not exactly stacked top to bottom either.
No, definitely not.
And I think the Cardinals have, they win tomorrow night. They're probably the number 2 seed.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Blaine, the number 1. As I have said a myriad of times throughout this fall season, the Blaine Bengals did not beat the Coon Rapids Cardinals. The Cardinals beat themselves when they played the Blaine Bengals.
The same could be said for the game against Anoka as well.
Yes.
Who's also in the section along with Andover.
Yep. And there's a couple of decent football teams in that, but Joe, you're right though, with the way that the section is set up, the football team could possibly have a nice little road there.
We're looking at probably St. Francis in the first round.
Yep.
Perhaps Anoka in the second round, and Blaine in the championship. And I really do believe that the Cardinals are better than all of those teams.
I
I know
agree.
there's a little bit of homerism, a little bit of bias going on, but
We're getting a ball in
the face. I hate when that happens.
perhaps knocking out one of our contacts.
Yeah, is that right? I think so. I think you're correct.
this is why we had a little circle on the field, seeing if they could find it. But
I've
Ashley
had those
Jones will
circles
come
before
off.
on fields, and usually I was looking for a tooth, never a contact lens.
How often does a tooth?
Okay, I didn't say it happened a lot, but it happened once my senior year. And yours truly found it. So
Very nice.
it's-
Did you
Was
put it
it-
under?
and
Did
was
you
it-
put it under your pillow?
And was it yours?
No.
Oh, but did you put it
Actually,
under
it
your
was
pillow
the
anyway?
opponents.
Okay. And
No, I
here-
gave it back to him.
I was gonna say, what do you do with a tooth?
Did you
Like,
get it-
here you
Sure.
go.
Here's your tooth.
I'm not sure what the point of actually looking for it and finding it was, but
Okay.
Well, again,
that was
again,
my question.
Putting it under the pillow.
Cardinals with a corner. High out swinger. Anoka got a foot to it first. Murphy didn't get a lot on that shot. Turned back toward midfield. Allie Haida plays it in the middle for Bonna. Tried to slip it through a couple of defenders to Lodi. Here's Becca Erickson taking control now. Tipped off her foot. Lodi tried to send Funfar in. Erickson takes a shot. Not a lot on it, and Smith makes a relatively easy save. Punt bounces near midfield. Julia Erickson battling with the Anoka player. Mallory Getchell. Little chip shot trying to send Funfar in behind the defense. I think she probably would have been offside. Anoka building something up the left side now. Her right side broken up by Julia Erickson. Foul called against Coon Rapids. Believe that the Ericksons, Julia and Becca, are cousins with Jenna Murphy.
Oh, okay. And you know this how?
Because they are all nieces of Judy Murphy.
Ah, well then that would be probably the right assumption.
Judy Murphy, of course, the mother of Nick Cremier, who graduated last year, former football and wrestling guy. But ran into Judy up here halftime of the girls' game on Thursday.
Well, it sounds like that's one family tree that's got some pretty deep Coon Rapids roots.
And number 20, Allison Gidding.
Can never control the AD's kids, can you?
Yeah.
Saw that TJ made the football game last week against Osseo. I think it was that I saw him on our station wearing the
Offsides call there. And
See, now
rightfully so.
that's exactly where I don't really understand the offside, because that defender, Funfar, was in front of her until she went to challenge Lodi. Well, if you leave the player and run the opposite way, I mean, that just doesn't work for me.
Well, I think she had her back. She turned her back, so I'm assuming that's why they call it an offside.
Well, because
Again,
as soon as she stepped to the far side, stepped up so that Funfar. Oh, they're running they're running a defensive trap now. They're trying to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the rules that set up the game. They aren't exactly set up for 2-on-1s that that you might see in hockey, and love to see that ball/puck push through for the attacker to skate on/run onto.
Well, when the last or second to last, being as the goaltender is the last defensive player, when the second to last player is marking the furthermost or downfield most offensive player, and then steps up to go running after the player with the ball and leaves him there, it should be like, well, I escorted him this far into our territory and then let him go, so they should be okay. I don't know. Just paint a blue line on the field.
Certainly an editorial
Yeah.
they could write to FIFA.
Make me a lot happier. Yeah, I'm sure they would be real happy to hear from an American trying to change the rules.
You're Joe Young.
Right.
Absolutely.
You have learned so well in your last few weeks.
You don't realize sometimes how much clout you actually have, Joe.
Right. Just over midway through this first half, Anoka making a couple of substitutions as they ready to throw it in front of the Coon Rapids bench.
I kind of used that I was going to do it from tomorrow night, but now I just used it, so I don't know that I can. You can never praise Joe enough. Just ask Joe. He'll tell you.
It's tough to be this good.
It is, isn't it? It's a it's I won't say it's a burden, but it's definitely tough. I know it weighs on you.
Tremendously.
We're at your feet, just at your feet.
Yeah.
Settled into a little lull here with some.
More of an evenly played match between the Tornadoes and the Cardinals.
A lot of midfield play.
Bono with the through ball. Funfar running on. Onsides. You noticed that?
I did notice. But see, yeah.
To no
Well, see,
avail.
I can understand if the forward runs past the defender who's standing still, then they're offside before that ball is struck.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're standing together and the defender runs away from them, therefore trapping them offside,
Yeah, and I've never contemplated nor seen a game that was played without the offsides. It would be interesting to see what that does to, the strategy of a team. But needless to say, that rule is in place, so we're going to live with it.
We have to at this point, unless we make an effort to change it.
Are you going to do that, Joe?
no, I think
Well, he's working on world peace. He's got something more to deal with than the rules of
Something
soccer.
a little bit easier?
Yeah, well, something a little more meaningful, apparently, to him.
I'm a big fan of world peace.
World peace is good. It's a good thing. Nice to have a lot more of it.
Yeah, if not world peace, maybe just a piece of pie.
A piece of pie would be nice, or cake.
Oh, we're back to that. Well, as long as we don't start talking about perms.
Yeah, we're not going there.
All right,
No,
good.
we'll stick to
You missed
icing
that one.
topic.
Well, that's good because I could have added to that story, but we won't tonight.
You had one too?
I did have one.
That's so sad.
I know it's sad.
And a mustache?
No mustache at the time. Puka shells, though.
What?
I don't even know what that is.
Don't you know what a puka shell is? Well,
No.
it's back from the 70s. It's
Puka or Buka?
puka.
Well, see now, Howie, we both lived through the 80s. The
No,
70s.
I lived through the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, we were a little young still.
Yeah.
Are they seashells?
Yeah, they come from the Isle of Puka. Now that I just made up. It's like a not a seashell, but like a piece of, I'm not gonna say coral, but some sort of a shell coming from, I think it's a Asian island of some sort. Island of Puka. Or it could be from Hawaii. Some island, some out there in the water.
Well, sure.
Nonetheless, I'll bring a picture sometime. I'll show you my perm in my puka shell.
Yeah, those land-bound islands.
Well, yeah, exactly. The land-bound. Well, they don't have shells.
Nearly as
there.
known for their shells.
No, not their shells. Or their rocks.
I've had some good stuffed shells. Just to get you back to food.
Oh, I like stuffed shells, too.
Another throw-in for the Cardinals.
We should get back to soccer, though.
Well, as I mentioned before, we've reached a sort of lull with a lot of midfield play and a lot of throw in, kick out, throw in, kick out, throw in, kick out.
Stuffed shells from Buka.
No, that's good, too. Puka shells.
I've had those. Mine are better, but secret family recipe. But I don't make them as in quite as large a serving. They dish it
Okay.
at family style at Buka.
At Puka, they do. Family of 10.
Another tornado throw-in.
Now you're
approaching
really
the
making me
14-minute
hungry.
mark.
If we just had some Laffy Taffy, Joe, you'd be all set.
Yeah, well.
He did mention that to me earlier this fall.
He's a
too.
big fan of the
Yes.
Laffy Taffy.
Well, the winter season is right around the corner. We'll be making it back to Cook. They do now stock it in the Roger E. Carlson concession area. Because I
He complained.
well, I didn't
He whined.
complain so much as I requested.
Yeah, if that's
To Coach DeJoy, I assume.
Yes. I heard he was the man with the plan. I said, hey, you got to get some
Laffy Taffy for Joe.
Laffy
Yeah.
Taffies in there.
And of course they did. Because he's Joe Young.
Or because they sell well. One of the two.
No, it's more because you're Joe Young. The whole idea is you to eat
Well,
Laffy Taffy while you're talking so they don't have to listen to you.
I was going to go home tonight feeling really good about myself after all you guys have talked me up, but that kind of took me back down.
No, I don't think so. I'll get you a mirror.
That does always cheer me up.
It does, absolutely.
And FIFA getting back to you, I think. Would also,
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be the topping on the cake. Speaking
Back
of
of
cake, here's Lodi. Looking for some room in deep. Got behind the defender. Slides, and Smith came out to meet her.
Nice job by the keeper holding onto that ball.
See, when something exciting happens, I stop talking about cake and pie and right back to soccer. And, of course, Coon Rapids just fine playing midfield. And, again, they are in that position where the clock becomes their friend. And while they're not going to sit back on their laurels with a 2-0 lead,
Nor either Shelby.
Right. Took me a second to figure that out. But they will not rest necessarily, but I think they'll be content to play in the midfield as long as they're keeping Anoka from having any good chances and, keep them from really threatening in deep.
Yeah, and so far I think most of the play has been from our midfield forward as opposed to Anoka's midfield and back. Somehow, I just hit Howie on the head.
That's okay. I was distracted.
Looking for donuts?
Oh, donuts? You have donuts? I don't think up here they'd be stale.
Opportunity for Funfar, getting it through to Bana and Lodi.
Lodi on the back door. Smith comes out big and
Successful.
boy, this could
Quickly distributes the ball.
this could quickly get out of hand if it weren't for the big play of Sonia Smith here in the last couple of minutes.
Yep, came up big. Had to hold on to the ball twice and did so. And had she not, like you said, it could have been blown wide open.
Well, and that's one of the things about this Cardinal team is they have so much speed, especially in those front three, that it can go from a kind of a slow game to here's Funfar threatening and Smith came out to take it away from her. They can go from playing the midfield game back and forth and just all of a sudden a burst of speed and they're in and have a good chance on net.
Yeah, one of their weapons certainly is team speed, and this more specifically the speed of their forwards.
It's getting hot up here.
Anoka getting it in, but then you see white shirts collapse and send it back near midfield. Bouncing one in, and here's Funfar on a breakaway and let it get a little too far away from her, and Smith comes out again.
Oh, nice aggressive move by Sonia Smith. Again, you have to take the opportunity, scoring opportunity away. You see Smith come out and do just that.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any stats on her for the year, but very impressive play. And only a sophomore.
Brianna Doral checking back in for the Tornadoes.
For Anoka, number 16, Brianna Doral.
Down deep in the corner is Jessica Bowie. Played it toward the net, stopped up, and kicked out on the near side. Nice play by Allie Haida on the near post, covering Taylor Bear.
Pershako doing a good job, more or less being the field general back there with the defense.
Corner kick coming up for the Tornadoes. Brianna Doral to take it. Goes to the back post, over everybody. And that attempt to clear back into the middle. Goes out the end line, goal kick, Coon Rapids.
But we will be having a corner kick for Tornadoes. I don't exactly know if that would deflect it off a Cardinal or what.
It must have.
Apparently. So they'll try from the other side. This time they go short post. Brasheko comes out and covers it up.
Doing a good job holding on that deflected ball there right before it got to her. I think a Tornado got a piece of it, and she's still able to grab it up and smother it.
Funfar settles near midfield, boots it down toward Smith. Smith will kick it away as she saw Lodi pressuring her last two defenders. A little too much hand play going on. The foul is going to be called against Coon Rapids. Julia Erickson tangled up there. I believe it was Brianna Doral. Here's a chance, and that goes high off the... I thought that went off the high post, which would have put it out of play, but apparently not, and now another corner kick.
Yeah, Brasheko got up there and tried to pull it down, and unfortunately didn't get it, pull it in and hold on to it, and got off someone's head and became a very dangerous ball.
Great chance for Anoka there. Trying to cut this lead in half.
Brasheko punches it, goes out the other side. We'll have another corner kick, their fifth of this first half.
I don't know who's keeping chart of the stats here, but certainly adding up a lot of corner kicks fast. Let's see the Anoka fans cheering on their team, hoping they can, as Howie said, cut this lead in half.
Brasheko doing a good job of getting to that ball and try and push him out, at least toward midfield. Rodman playing it into the corner, turned around by the Cardinals. Ashley Jones moving it ahead.
Tornadoes certainly had the better of the play for the last 10 minutes. There have been some isolated opportunities for Cardinals running in on goalie Smith, but anything that's been sustained has been more or less down at the east end of the field here.
This is Doral. Playing it ahead, broken up, sent out of bounds.
Under 5, about 4.5 minutes remaining in this opening half. Cardinals with a 2-0 lead.
Throw in by Stellenberg. That one, see, now I could have called that one. When Mallory Getchell goes up in the air and the Anoka player
Pulls her down.
pushes her 3 feet to the left while she's in the air, that I see why that one's called a foul. Or a penalty. Or an infraction. I'm not sure. What do they call them? Penalties?
Fouls.
Fouls.
That's what I thought. That was my first guess.
I like the infraction. I think it could be considered an infraction as
Yep.
well.
I
I
think
think
you're
that's
right.
very sport neutral.
I do that a lot. Neutrals. Unbiased words. Unsports biased.
Okay.
Dangerous spot for a throw-in for Anoka. Went off a Cardinal head and out of bounds, and we're going to have another tornado corner kick.
Well, and a lot of pressure inside it. Anoka's doing a great job of trying to get their first goal of this game, but Cardinals give them credit. Good defense. A couple nice opportunities from Brashenko to either gather a ball in or punch it away.
Yeah, the 5 defenders, if you include Brashenko, the 3 juniors and 3 sophomores and 2 juniors have done a great job of keeping
The header right on, but Brashenko is there.
and covering up everything they need to and clearing everything they need to. You don't want to see a sustained attack like this for the second half coming up, though, in about 2.5 minutes. I think Cardinals need to get back to their game. Dangerous lead, 2 goals is.
Yeah, we talked about that in the first game.
That could be a card, or maybe just a verbal warning.
You gotta hold down that territory!
Coach DeJoy saying, hold the territory down.
Yes.
Becca Erickson booting it down the sideline. Lodi on the run. Funfar chasing as well. Cleared and out of bounds deep in the Anoka end. Kicking it out of bounds, not a bad idea, but you'd rather it didn't go that deep before it got out of bounds if you're Anoka.
Yeah, you're looking at a minute and a half left in the half, and now an opportunity maybe down low if Cardinals can add to their lead.
Dangerous spot for the throw-in by Vandervorst, but only maroon jerseys there.
Another throw
And
in
Cardinals, yep, going to get another chance in deep.
Yeah, you're right. The defender there would like to advance the ball at least upfield more, or at least even perpendicular to the field of play instead of playing it back to their
Well, and the
end.
2 throw-ins in a row have gone right to maroon jerseys. Now they'll throw it into the corner. Von Wald challenging. Defender goes down. Von Wald sends it out to the middle. Cleared away. Erickson sends it back in. Cleared away again. High boot from Julia Erickson, and that's out of bounds.
We're at half a minute remaining in the opening half. Cardinals with that big 2-0 lead, Joe and Chad. And it's a great spot to go in at the halftime with that kind of an advantage.
Yeah, but I think Chad and I saw it in the Forest Lake game. They went in with a lead at 1-0 at that game, and they came out really strong and really fast and really aggressive because they didn't feel it was enough. And I think that's what you're going to see at the start of the second half here is the Cardinals are going to come out very fast and very aggressive, try and put a few more on the board. Shelby Funfar got kicked in the, looked like the sternum area, the stomach. Maybe got the wind knocked out of her a little bit. That was just before the rush down the field. She's got a smile on her face, though. I'm sure she'll be all right after a 10-minute break. We will take a break. We go to the half. Coon Rapids up 2-0 over Anoka in the Section 7 AA Girls Soccer Championship. You're watching it on CTN.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to set some ground rules.
Like what?
Well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was pretty graphic. Too graphic for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
I got to make this up to you. This is Vinny's watch, and I want you to have it. You deserve
No,
it.
thank you. That's really not necessary.
No. Come here.
Back at the Cardinal Sports Complex, the girls soccer team trying to do what the boys team did by beating Anoka and advancing to the state tournament as the Section 7 AA champions. They're halfway there. They're up 2-0 after the first 40 minutes. They did it with a quick goal. This one went in, a shot. Rebound, that's actually the second goal. That was Shelby Funfar getting that one. Shelby Zimmel got the first one on a clearing attempt that she then sent off the far post and in. And that one came just a little less than 4 minutes in. And both Cardinal goals coming in the first 10 minutes. And then put it on cruise control a little bit. You see, they statistically have the advantage in just about every statistic, but the most important one up on top, certainly in the Cardinals' favor with a 2-0 lead.
There's a bicycle helmet, as you can see, worn by a tornado for, I'm sure, good reason.
I was wondering about that.
What is that? What could that good reason be?
Head injury?
Could be.
Bike ride home.
That's a little chilly to
Doubtful.
bike ride home at this point.
You asked me to brainstorm.
And that's why I asked you, because I know you could get the job done.
Well, we talked about a lot of midfield play, and especially like the middle 20 minutes of that first half, and a slight territorial advantage probably going to Anoka, but they weren't really able to produce many serious scoring opportunities out of the time they spent in the Cardinal end. Cardinals, on the other hand, had a couple of really good opportunities, and Sonia Smith came up big to keep it only at a 2-0 score and keeping her team with a chance in this one.
Yeah, you could definitely see a lull in the play of the Cardinals in the first half, in the middle. Once they got that second goal, they kind of, as you said, kind of rested back on their Shelbys or laurels. And hopefully, I think DeJoy probably went into half a little unsettled as far as how his team was playing, seeing how, this is a game, assuming they win before the state tournament, where you kind of got to bring your best game.
Well, and you do, and and I think that in these games of this type of magnitude, you have a little bit of jitters at points, but you're right. You have to. This is the time you have to play your best soccer, and definitely Coach DeJoy wants his team to be playing their best soccer at this stage of the season.
Anoka bringing the numbers, but a good job defending, and that shot just sort of trickles in on Brasheko and pretty easily scoops it up.
Good distribution by Brasheko up the middle half of the field.
Julia Erickson able to take it away. Or Becca Erickson, rather. So Erickson again. Ends up out in front of the Coon Rapids bench to Anoka. Quick throw in and a nice job by Julie Erickson coming up to take that one away. Stopped up by Alyssa Benson. Bonda sends it back in. Funfar on the run will get there first, trying to get the corner. Great job defending. I think that's Alyssa Benson. Stuck with her the whole way, got position on her.
Yeah, right there, Lodi looking to take the ball at the net where I think she should have been playing it back to a supporting role where we can then cross the ball and get away from Anoka traffic. Anoka for the last 25 minutes doing a great job defensively.
Yeah, they really have. They've bottled up the Cardinals after those 2 goals.
Shot from a long ways out, well over the net.
And a big part of it is Smith there in net. She kind of set the tone and perhaps, emotionally kind of brought her team back into this.
Becca Erickson over on the sideline getting a little bit of attention from the trainer.
Lodi turning it toward Bana. Battling with Doral, but it was turned around and now out of bounds to the Tornadoes.
Well, much like when the boys scored their 3rd goal of the game, a goal here for Coon Rapids would be huge in putting Anoka back on their heels and having to fight out of a large hole.
Yeah, I think if it goes the other way where Anoka gets that next goal, I think it's anybody's game.
Absolutely.
Especially with the way that Anoka has been able to build the pressure. They haven't had, again, really many good scoring opportunities, but they've gotten it to the place where they can get scoring opportunities. That shot from a ways out by Doral soars high and wide.
Both teams now have exchanged shots from about 25 yards out, and both missing easily.
Myers settles, her pass broken up by Zimmel. Myers trying to play it back. And cleared by Jones. Rodman. Pass knocked away out of bounds by Jenna Murphy.
Yeah, I was just kind of taking inventory on some of the players we have seen from the Cardinals, and I think it might be a little shorter bench so far this evening. Don't know if I've seen a Hertog or a Halleck out there yet.
Well,
or J.C. Fauski.
Yep, and I think 2 things. One, I don't know that the Cardinals have really let up. While we've talked about them sitting back a little bit, I don't think they've let up quite to the point that they did in that game we watched against Forest Lake, where they were obviously not playing as well as they were capable of, and Coach DeJoy brought in some subs to get some starters out and give them a talking to in that first half, and then Of course, they came out early in that second half and blew the game open, and then you had the opportunity to get some more people on the field because you had a 4-0 lead. Zimmel got over a little late, but did get there in time and clears it away as pass was headed for Shauna Rodman running hard down the left side.
Yeah, that was a play that had to be made because Rodman had to jump behind the defenders.
Well, this certainly isn't an Anoka team any other team can take lightly. They beat a very good Duluth East team. And from what we've seen of their goaltending, I mean, the talent starts in the back and kind of works its way forward.
And with how much time they've spent deep in the Cardinal end in the last, really 30 minutes of gameplay, they're just one kick away from being right back in this game.
Well, they're certainly doing a good job of applying pressure.
Number 19, Madison.
Maddie Van Wald checking back in, gives Funfar a breather. Bana tried to slip Van Wald in behind the defense. Van Wald comes back to battle. Back near side. Nice job by Myers to poke it around Funfar or Zimmel. Then up the sidelines, and Taylor Bear took a tough tumble after losing her feet along the sidelines. Now the throw in right to Rodman. Pass back to Bear, broken up by Murphy.
I think you've seen that a couple times now. Anoka taking advantage of the quick throw in, trying to catch the Cardinals off guard. Just a nice quick transition.
Murphy trying to boot it up, stopped up by Rodman. Sends it toward the middle. Second pass is broken up, knocked away by Heather Vandervorst. Erickson couldn't get a foot on it. Rodman taps it back, long shot. Will trickle out of bounds.
Nope.
Apparently it's still sitting on the line, so Heather, the Cardinals play it up the line. Nice play.
Ooh. Questionable call there against the Cardinals.
That's a tough one.
Tornado ball going back.
Good aggressive play by
Yeah, I thought she was playing the ball and played it well and successfully. You agree, Howie?
I do.
That's really all that matters.
Absolutely.
As long as we've got Howie on our side. Here's another look at it. Bana, one nice touch to get around Myers. Sending it ahead for Von Wald. Von Wald trying to feed Lodi. And Smith comes out and smothers it.
Great vision of the field there, seeing Lodi coming through. Lodi hesitated just a half a step. But Smith always present when it comes to balls in the 18-yard box.
Julie Erickson gets it out of danger deep in the Cardinal end. Throw in from a dangerous spot for Anoka. Stellenberg toward the middle. Headed away by the Cardinal defense. Bana and Kelly Stellenberg got tangled up and went down, but no calls. This time we'll get a call, and Cardinals slow to get up. I think we had a little head-to-head collision. Julie Erickson's sitting up. Looks like she's going to be all right.
Yeah, she's going to get up, and that is good to see.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd asking for a stoppage of the clock, but the ref had not asked for that. So the clock continues to clock down.
Erickson putting a good foot to it. Von Wald had a header on it. Turned around by Myers. Murphy will send it back toward the Anoka end. Jones gets it back to midfield. Rodman to the far side, stopped up by Vandervorst. Anoka playing it back to the near side, and Rodman had it taken away by Murphy.
Well, the Tornadoes, as we've been talking about, getting a lot of pressure down on the Cardinal end, but not a lot of shots on goal.
Yep. They've spent the time down there. They just haven't been able to really do anything with it.
I think they're experiencing what other teams have experienced in this section is that Cardinals aren't easy to score against.
Nope.
No, and Carol Borshako, 9 shutouts, but give a lot of that credit to her defenders. And you've talked about how young those 3 defenders are, but they have been very good all season, especially after the first couple of games. Remember, 2 of the Cardinals' 3 losses were in the first 3 games of the season. And so since that first 3 games, they are, 15-1-1 over their last 17 games?
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
I'd say.
Yeah, and I don't think that either Murphy, Erickson, Haida, or Von Versti stand out alone. They work so well as a defensive unit.
There's a great chance off the free kick by Anoka. Julia Erickson got a header on it. Sent back into the scrum. And Zimmel will clear it out near side. Quick throw in again, and Borshako gets it off the head of a defender and will wait a few seconds and then punt it away. So back out near midfield and into Anoka territory. Funfar kicks it forward, turned around by Jones. Getchell gets it ahead to Bana. Bana, boot to the corner. Funfar racing for it. Crossing out front as Smith came out charging. Lodi fighting for it. Cleared by the Anoka defense.
Good opportunity for the Coon Rapids. Just couldn't get a shot on net.
Taylor Bear racing against Vandervorst, and Vandervorst will knock it out of bounds. Trying to set up Rodman at the back door, and Borshako sniffed that one out, came out and intercepted the pass. Ooh.
Should be a Cardinal
Tough
throw-in.
collision, but bouncing right back up as Taylor Bear is the right idea, sending her in. Maddie Myers with a nice ball in.
Yeah, that's where you were about both players' knees when that kind of come together like that. But both quick to get back up. Good, hard, aggressive soccer. Good play by the goaltender and the attacker.
Yeah, and Borshako had to come out and challenge, but it was past the 18 yards, so could not dive on it or scoop it up. Lauren Johns playing it over to the far side. Knocked out of bounds. Anoka throw in from the far side. Zimmel stops that one up. Played back out by Vandervorst. Haida with a high boot. Funfar waiting under it.
Be a Cardinal throw and deflected off the tornado leg.
And this is in a relatively dangerous spot.
Not nearly as dangerous in the girls' side as it is for the boys. Boys with the ability to more or less throw it in from there across the goal mouth.
Funfar trying to force it back in.
But dangerous nonetheless.
Yes, it is.
Murphy plays it back into the corner. Funfar battling with Jones. Rodman able to peel that one away from Zimmel. Played out in front of the Coon Rapids bench, a Cardinal throw-in.
Well, Cardinals trying to apply a little more pressure down in the tornado end. Really keep the action away from Brashenko.
Well, and we did not see coming out to start the second half the type of aggressive play from the Cardinals I expected. This one played in. Zimmel, Funfar rather, tripped up, and Jones took may have taken the worst on that collision. She was limping a little bit. Now a Cardinal penalty called.
Yeah, they seem more or less content with the 2-goal lead.
Right.
Their midfielders are taking more of a defensive stance on things. They're not moving up with the forwards on the attack. A little more hesitant to be moving up. And
Brashenko happy to stay aggressive in her box. Not going to let any weak, long passes to the corner catch her off guard. Sends this one back out past midfield. Bonnet gets it back to Von Wald. Von Wald trying to find its way into Funfar.
We're just about the halfway mark here in this game. So about 20 minutes remaining.
Or
Cardinals,
the second half.
Or the second half.
Because usually the halftime is the half of the game.
this would be the 3-quarter mark.
There you go.
Okay. 40 minutes, it's 20 minutes, it's halfway through the second half. That's how I'm sticking to it.
I know. I can't let you off like
I understand.
that easily.
I understand. You know me, I'd give it right back. So
I know.
Back on the bench, number 2, Jackie Lodi.
Another goal kick coming up for the Tornadoes. Jackie Lodi checking back on to the field for Coon Rapids. Funfar racing in, and Smith smothers it just in front of her.
oh, she's been so aggressive this evening as Smith, just coming out to meet the challenge.
Yeah, it reminds me of a goaltender from years ago with the same last name, Billy Smith. Equally as aggressive. Played with the New York Islanders.
I was wondering if that was the Billy Smith you were referring to. That was kind of a nice check there.
That was a
by
check, absolutely.
Rachel Bana. The referee picked up on that as well. There's another look at it. It's good use of your shoulders. She kept the elbow down, right, Chad?
Yes. No, I think on Wednesdays and Sundays she's been more or less working with the hockey team and captain's practices, and maybe that showed a little bit there. Season's just around the corner.
Yeah, but when are they going to allow checking? If ever.
It's
still illegal.
That'll be the same year that FIFA gets back to you. On,
yeah, okay.
The 12th of never.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon on the 12th of never. Yeah, because that's still going to be illegal on the ice.
Yeah.
Although it was a executed shoulder check. A lot of players that can never figure out how to do that. But that was it right there. Taylor Bear trying to keep it in the Cardinal end. Lost out of bounds to Coon Rapids. This has not been quite as entertaining a game as was the boys.
No.
Boys game, a lot more end-to-end action, a lot more opportunities for both teams to score.
Great scoring opportunities.
Yeah, a lot.
Not
Well,
just opportunities, but I mean very, very good opportunities.
that
Where
one's
these
too far,
through
so-
balls are just. I would say their triangulation working up the field is a little bit narrow, where the boys were able to go from side to side a little bit more and kind of get the movement of the goaltender going from one side to the other. Here there's been a lot of through balls, unsuccessful through balls, especially with Smith playing as well as she has been. And they've just been getting too far ahead of Funfar and Bodie and Bana.
It's only the second shot attempted by Coon Rapids in the second half. They have not put one on net. But just, I mean, both teams in that boys game, we just saw the action go from end to end a lot more frequently. Here's a good chance. Ball still bouncing, but Smith is going to get on top of it.
Oh, great chance because that ball was loose right in the front of the net. And Smith diving across, making sure that ball was not going into the net.
Cardinals just not able to finish there.
Yeah, this game far more midfield play than the boys' game saw. Jandaru trying to push it back toward the middle, cleared away by Julia Erickson. Sports night, Shapiro.
Had a good one last night.
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
All right.
A lot of highlights.
Yep. Started the playoff editions of Sports Night, of course, with the first two rounds of the Section 7 tournament.
It is a fun time of year with tournament time and
Yes,
sections.
it is.
Fall season's winding down and the post seasons starting up.
Sometimes just the
Looking
sight
at me-
of Shapiro.
Just looking at me makes you laugh. Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
At least it doesn't make you cry.
And we'll be seeing a lot of each other this week.
Yes, we will. Another big broadcast tomorrow.
Football team
yep.
trying to finish their regular season strong. If they are able to beat Centennial, they would finish with a 5-game winning streak. Here's a shot in on goal, and going up to make the save is Brasheko.
Very nice save by Pacheco there. Sometimes a game like this where there's a lot of midfield play, goaltender's focus can start to drift on him.
Yeah, and that's the point where you have to be so much aware of where the ball is because you're up just 2-0. As you mentioned, the goal here would be a
Lodi
big
getting
spark.
around the corner. Out to Bono. One-touch shot, but got under it a little too much. Sends it high over the net.
Say a goal for Anoka at this point would be huge because they need to cut this at least cut this lead in half and try and get back into this ball game with time ticking away.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed or the viewers noticed there, but Brasheko's foot does step into the goal, but it's keeping the ball out. It has nothing to do with where her body is in the field. It's just a matter of whether that ball crosses the goal line or not. Similar to hockey.
Yep.
Joel.
Taylor Bear racing down the right side, stopped or at least slowed up by Jenna Murphy. Able to cross it out front, went off the head of one Anoka player. Here's a shot. That would hit, I think that was Zimmel. Here's another shot, but that one's up and over the net.
Well, a couple good opportunities for the Tornadoes. Just couldn't get a solid shot on goal.
Pace of play just picked up a little bit.
Yep.
See the bench. Over the Cardinals.
Good defensive stop there, and then you see the kick over the goal post.
I believe that was Shelby Zimmel that essentially had a save. Of course, it will be added to Brasheko's stat sheet as a shot on goal that did not go in, therefore the goalie must have saved it. Didn't quite work that way, but that's okay. Again, you talk about how important the defenders are in helping the keeper put up the type of stellar numbers she has been able to put up this season.
They are a team of 5, and they deserve credit for all 9 of those shutouts. And perhaps, well, I don't want to say it. It's a little bit early.
It is a little bit early. There's plenty of time left in this contest. Clock is continuing to tick. But I think once it gets to the 10-minute mark, Chad, then I think it's a little more pressure, obviously, on Anoka. This time will definitely be running out for them.
Yep, easy for me to say. Second game in a row where time is Coon Rapids' friend right now.
Former Cardinal Randy Hill.
Yep.
In attendance. I think she's now at St. Thomas.
I believe you're correct with Jasmine Townsend.
Playing basketball.
Yep.
Bana spinning on the left side. Goes out off of the Anoka defender. As we approach the 10-minute mark, you talked about how Anoka got to start feeling a little bit of desperation to get at least one and make it a one-goal game. Foul called on Coon Rapids, indeed. Because if they get one in the next 3 to 5 minutes, you've got a real good opportunity to try and tie the game. But if you wait till that final 3 minutes to get the first one, then you're real hard-pressed to try and get another. Of course, it's not like they haven't been trying for the last 70 minutes, but
the more the time ticks down, the more pressure is going to fall in Anoka's end.
And that little sequence they had just a minute or two ago, probably their best scoring opportunity of the game so far.
Mm-hmm. Right now, Rachel Donna getting a break as Maddie Von Wald comes back in.
And the Cardinals have done such a great job of keeping them to the perimeter. Any shots that they have had have come from a long ways out.
And that may have been their intention, is to control the pace of the game, and they wanted to slow it down. They wanted to make it a possession game, and that if that was their intent, then they had a successful second half. Corner kick opportunity coming up here for the Cardinals.
It's the first corner kick for either squad here in the second half. Anoka had 6 in the first half. Of course, I think like 3 of those happened like right in a row. Anoka getting to it first. Kim's right back to Zimmel, and she put it high up over the net. Yes, Jeff, we can hear you.
all the way up here.
That was Rachel M. Nelson, working the sidelines for the Cardinals. Ball lost out the end line. Be a goal kick for Anoka. Rachel Roberts playing it to the near side. Forcing it ahead was Myers, turned around by the Cardinals. One far head ahead on it. Here's Von Wald. Bumped, but keeps the ball moving forward. Smith whiffed on it. Fortunately, a defender, the only one behind her.
Smith obviously distraught with her embarrassing moment there.
Yeah, she's definitely upset with herself.
She's got to get that behind her.
But again, fortunately for her, Lodi was not charging on that ball, because if she had been, it would have been a 3-goal game. Fortunately for the keeper, defender, the only one behind her when she missed that kick. Zimmel's throw in, headed away by Roberts. Near midfield, stopped up by Ali Haida. Rolls all the way back in on Smith, who scoops it up. Sends it back near midfield. Turned around. And cleared out of danger by Jones.
We are approaching that 5-minute mark left in the game, Joe, and you talked about now things, if they hadn't been able to score by this point to cut the lead in half, it's going to be tough for Anoka, I believe, to score 2 goals here in 5 minutes.
Yep, and the Cardinals would really like to just keep the possession down here in the Anoka end, force the Tornadoes to continue pushing the ball out of bounds and not getting it. Here's a danger. Oh, Lodi overran it on the back post.
Yeah, here's a situation where I don't think the Cardinals have changed their strategy or attack pressure-wise as a system, but they're actually, I think, just kind of wearing down Anoka. Anoka's starting to get tired here. That's why we're seeing the ball down in this half a little bit more.
Bo was looking for some help on that far side, wasn't getting it. A couple of substitutions as Mallory Getchell checks back in for the Cardinals. Sarah Tokar back onto the field for Anoka. Rachel M. Nelson coming off the field. Cardinals pushing it the other way. Foot race for Lodi, and boy is she fast. Gets behind the defense, and Smith comes out and smothers it right in front of her.
Yeah, she is very quick. You can see her accelerate past the player from Anoka.
Ooh. Handball called, and Anoka fans, we're going to let the refs miss that one.
No.
No, and right now you're going to get a very dangerous set piece just outside the 18-yard box for the Tornadoes. And
Brianna Doral will look at a 4-player wall. Now only 3.
3. In the meantime, time is ticking away for the Tornadoes. 2.5 minutes.
Doral, a little chip shot, a header, and a goal.
All right, that was a nice play by Anoka. They set it up perfectly. And now in the last 2 1/4, they're going to try to constantly pressure that Coon Rapids net.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to make for an interesting last 2.5 minutes, and I think it is. Perfectly played in.
And it's just directed it enough to the side of Pacheco that she was able to get it into the net.
Well, this was the final score of the first meeting, 2-1 in favor of Coon Rapids. Now a 1-goal game, 2.5 minutes to play. And the Cardinals serve it in, but Anoka trying to turn it right back around. Bana is there, Funfar. Turning to the corner, to the sideline anyhow. Cardinals going to just try to bottle the Tornadoes up down here and take plenty of time getting balls like this.
And again, taking plenty of time in getting that ball into play as well, as much time as possible. Well, I think
the linesman not in a position to see that deflection,
No.
but the center
he made the right
ref
call.
was,
Yep,
and he
he
made
did.
the right call.
Absolutely.
Yep. And it soothed the ravenous Anoka crowd that immediately jumped on it. Here come the Tornadoes trying to build something down the left side, kicked away out in front of Rachel Roberts.
Maybe some venom in some of those comments by the fans in the bleachers.
Well, they did say sir, so that was good.
Polite, cordial venom.
Yeah.
Under a minute to play. DeJoy telling Shelby Zimmel, take your time.
Yeah, the clock is our friend.
We got some changes going on. Lodi trots off the field and a little slower than she probably could have. Clock certainly their friend with only a 1-goal lead now.
We're under 30 seconds.
And I'm going to go way out on a limb. I'm going way out to say the Cardinals are going to win this. The girls are going to be the section champions. They are going to go to the state tournament for the first time in 3 years.
You are a risk taker.
They are going to join their male counterparts as Section 7 AA champions. As the bell sounds, they flood out onto the field to celebrate. And congratulations to Anoka on a well-played season.
Absolutely.
And a good run in their tournament. And for that goal that kept Coon Rapids and Carol Pacheco from scoring a shutout across the board in the section tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would have been another little thing for the Cardinals program to hang their hat on, a shutout all the way through these tournament games. But Anoka broke it up, made it interesting there at the end.
Yeah, and it obviously doesn't really matter what the final score is as long as you come out on top. So that you're right, they would have liked to have get the shutout, and Anoka did a good job of finally, with about 3 minutes remaining, to get their first goal of the game, and the Cardinals just sewed it up, and they are going to the state.
Yeah, I think that if this means that their most exciting soccer lies ahead of them, then that's all right.
Without a doubt.
Well, we will take a short break and be back with the presentation of the medals from Cardinal Stadium after this. The Coon Rapids girls soccer team are the 2008 Section 7 AA Championship champions and headed for the state tournament. We'll wrap things up after this on CTN.
What looks like a very nice night, but it is cold and windy here at the Joe, you look at this matchup on paper, and there's no contest, but this game is not played on paper, and you know in this conference anything can happen. Anderson drops back to pass, has a little time. And he will pitch again, and Muhlenberg running right.
And Howie, a big opponent coming in for the Coon Rapids Cardinals. This defense only giving up 11 points a game.
Coon Rapids back on top.
Unbelievable.
Midfielder, Amanda Funder. Midfielder, Kristen Salo. Midfielder, Taylor Bear. Defender, Samantha Sodergren. Forward, Shauna Rodman. Forward, Jen DeRue. Defender, Sarah Tokar. Defender, Kelly Stellenberg. Midfielder, Brianna Doral. Midfield, Lauren Johns. Midfielder, Jessica Bowe. Midfielder, Alyssa Benson. Forward, Allison Giddings. Defender, Rachel Roberts. Defender, Ashley Jones. Defender, Maddie Myers. Defender, Haley Kramer. Coaches, Mike Pomeroy, Marie Martin-New, and Amber Dusosky, and head coach Paul Anderla. Would the captains please come out and accept their second place trophy? And now, your championship trophies for champions Coon Rapids Cardinals. Forward, Captain Jackie Lodi. Defender, Jenna Murphy. Defender, Julia Erickson. Defender, J.C. Bosky. Forward, Rachel Bonham. Defender, Ali Haida. Forward, Rachel M. Nelson. Defender, Heather Vandevorst. Forward, Shelby Funfar. Midfielder, Captain Brianna Halick. Forward, Rachel A. Nelson. Midfielder, Mallory Ketchel. Midfielder, Shelby Zimmel. Midfielder, Captain Becca Erickson. Forward, Madison Van Wold. Goalkeeper, Carol Pacheco. And midfielder, Sabrina Hertog. And coaches Katie Ekman, Jeff Snickel, and Ryan McSwain. And head coach, Jeff DeJoy. And would the captains please come out to receive your first place trophy. Congratulations to the Coon Rapids Cards for another fine season as they head to the state tournament.
A fabulous end of the night here at the Cardinal Sports Complex. Both boys and girls teams capturing section championships and advancing to the Minnesota State Tournament. The girls got a lead early. They scored both of their goals in the first 10 minutes of the game, and then they just held on. And they had a couple of good chances. Smith played really well, very aggressive in that second half. But the Cardinals really didn't get down there a lot, didn't spend a lot of time down here in the Anoka end. And then the Anoka Tornadoes able to put some pressure on and finally pays off the corner kick. The header for a goal by Sam Erickson. It came with just over 2.5 minutes to play. The Cardinals able to hold on for the victory, however. That's the first goal they've given up in this section tournament.
And you look at the stats, and obviously pretty close, almost as close as the score was, 2-1 Cardinals holding the advantage pretty much throughout until about that final 3 minutes as we saw that last goal. But just a good job by Coon Rapids to not buckle under pressure and put a lot of time down in the Anoka end in that second half, especially later in that second half, and take the opportunities away from the Tornadoes.
Well, and we cannot as we did in the boys' game, we should talk about it. The girls cannot now celebrate as if mission accomplished. Now mission to begin.
Absolutely.
They're into the state tournament. This program went 3 straight years to the state.
Sorry about that. Just knock a few things over. Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine.
I think it was 2003 to 2005, right?
Yep.
They went 3 straight years and then missed the past 2. But during those 3 straight years, they were eliminated in the first round, unable to make it past the quarterfinals. A couple of those ended in shootout. And so they now have to prepare for the next step in their mission, which is reaching the semis and then hopefully a championship. And we'd love to follow it all here on CTN.
Yes, we would. And we obviously congratulate the boys and the girls for a fine season and both teams making it to the state tournament. And that we talked about, that doesn't happen too often in the same year. And we're just glad that we could be a part of it and bring everybody coverage and enjoy Coon Rapids soccer.
And we will let you know how the brackets all work out, who the Cardinals will be facing and where in that state tournament when we do Sports Night on Monday. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score of this Section 7 AA championship match. It's the number 1 seeded Coon Rapids Cardinals 2, the number 3 seeded Tornadoes 1. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Chad Keeney and Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Say goodnight.